I think it's a little bit fitting that I talk about Akame Ga Kill and the matter that what's going on in Ferguson and some other places in the world. I'll just get straight and down to it. Akame Ga Kill has to be one of the goriest movies, or not movies, anime shows that I have seen in a while, and I've seen Blood Sea. God, it has been a while since I've seen this kind of stuff, and Blood Sea was fucked up, man, beyond belief. But Akame Ga Kill it doesn't reach that huge level of gore that people expect to see out of anime, but most of the creepy stuff that happens in this show isn't essentially about the whole gore factor. It's just the fact that people are so twisted and maniacal at their own selfish gains in this show. God dang, is this horrifying. But at the same time, it has that tone of positivity in the main cast that we have and that we're following right now. The whole setting is more of, I don't want to say a medieval setting because it really doesn't look like that, even though you got royalty and knights and everywhere. When you kind of expect, and when you kind of see the main character of the show wear some sort of casual vest and t-shirt, as in you see in a regular daily basis. But the setting is supposed to represent a time period where it was really fucked up back then. You always hear of kings and noblemen having such twisted fetishes towards making people suffer, doing what it takes to get their own way. High-ranking military guys doing such dastardly stuff to the common folks. It may not have been that bad back then, but you'd be surprised at what you hear and what you read about in the history books. Not everybody is evil, but that's just what most people say. But for this show, nearly everybody that is a noble is twisted in some weird fashion, and no episode represents that even more than the very first one. You got the main character, which I cannot remember all the names in this show. Forgive me for that. But the main character is on a quest to the capital to join up in the main line of defense force, or the main army, to uphold good and vanquish evil and stuff like that. He gets to the capital. He's down on his luck and not having much of it to really get by, but is taken in by a daughter of a noble family that which they often do. This will come up a little bit later, but it then turned and one night at their manor, a band of assassins come in and start brutalizing every single person, and so just outright killing everybody. And at first you think that they're just paid people just killing willy-nilly, but no. When the main character tries to save the daughter of the family, he stumbles. He is taken by one of the assassins and reveals a huge warehouse of every single person that this family has taken in chains, freaking tortured to no end. Even the mother had a hand in experimenting with drugs on their victims. It was horrifying. God dang, this this was a screwed up scene to go to, and then came to discover that the two friends that that the main character had known and had left at the same time had in fact been taken in by this family too and tortured to death. God, this was so horrifying. And he ends up killing the girl and joining up with the band of assassins known as the Knights Raid. And to be quite honest, this is probably the coolest band of assassins that I've seen in a long time. Not only do these guys come from a very, very tortured background, like one of them who carries a giant pair of scissors, and I do mean that literally, a giant pair of scissors. She had grown in a community of just casual life, was not very good at anything else, oftentimes got in the way sometimes, but she wanted to help. But once one certain circumstances came across that she reacted and then pretty much assassinated one person who was threatening the life of one of her friends. And that's pretty much how she discovered that she was a skilled assassin, which is kind of funny, and to be quite honest, but that's the whole spiel of the magic of anime right there. But one thing that really draws my attention to the show even more is the fact that they have a lore behind the weapons that they carry, called the Imperial Arms. Each weapon was specifically designed for a particular purpose in the field of combat, and all of them were made by the command of a previous king or a previous emperor in charge, and they were all made specifically for the good of all mankind. And given what this show is like, yeah, they fell into the wrong hands, and now Imperial arm users are getting away with practical murder in every sense it makes. And some of these weapons you really don't even expect coming, especially one in particular, carried by probably one of the most casual soldiers I've ever seen. She may not seem very much, but after seeing a fight between two of the Knights Raids and this girl who carries a Imperial Arms, who is literally a dog. I'm not kidding around with this. It's literally a dog, and it's probably one of the scariest looking things I've ever seen. So adorable, and just could turn into something like that. God dang. I've really wanted something like this to pop up in a long time, and it does capture that image of good people doing terrible things to make the world a better place, and it doesn't get any better than this particular show. I mean, there are people today that do horrible things for the benefit of mankind, and even though not a lot of people would agree with this, but there are times where some actions must be taken to all sorts of lengths to get the job done. This is a very fun show to watch, and it's not just in the terms of the actual action going on, but with these characters of the Knights Raid, you really get a sense of how these people are in reality, and you kind of relate to some of them. It's actually one of the first animes that does a homosexual pretty well. I mean, well, I don't know. I enjoy this guy a lot. just a big muscular guy whose imperial arm is literally a giant suit of armor, nearly impenetrable, and just kind of fun to watch when you get dialogue between the main character and this guy. It's really funny. Um, but I don't want to spoil too much about the show. But one thing that's really made it one of my favorite is, okay, I will go into some more spoilers about this. In the fight with with the casual soldier with the dog imperial arm weapon, she manages to kill one of the knight's raids, which I didn't even see coming. That was pretty that was pretty intense, and just not something to and I would ever expect coming. And it really hits home for a lot of these characters. And when she died, the entire band was just like really struck and hard by this loss. I mean, you really feel for these people. They have seen hell, and they're now applying themselves to really give hell back to those who did them wrong, as well as others that are doing wrong to other people. You know, it's a fucked up show, but it's a very entertaining show nonetheless. It's really, really awesome. I've gushed about this show about enough, so I'll leave it to you guys to decide whether you like the show or not. And please leave a comment down below and see if and tell me who's your favorite character of the show, or what you got out of it that was really entertaining. Like, comment, or subscribe down there if you want to hear more about the anime that I've been watching and been getting a real entertainment from. So I'll see you guys next time.